Hey, how's it going? Back with another review of a different sling bag. This one happens to be the Hex Ranger DSLR 8 liter. I recently did a review on the Peak Design 6 liter. In this video, you'll see an unboxing, a first impression, just how the bag is set up, what I initially put in there just to show you how much it would fit. I just recently got back from a 3-week trip where I use this bag pretty much almost every day. So I will also follow up in the video with just letting you know how it performed, exactly everything that I was able to carry in here. So continue watching and see if this is the right bag, see if it's better than a Peak Design 6 liter.
So here's the next bag of choice that I have for, again, trying to have somewhat of a minimalist carry and then substitute or have a bag work as basically like a cube in my carry-on, and also then be my bag that I have when I get locally to just be able to walk around town and have everything done. So this is the Hex Ranger DSLR bag in kind of a camo pattern. I forget what the name of this camo pattern is. I'll post it. But this is also an 8-liter sling. I can tell you, and you can see, right off the start, that this bag is definitely a little bit more soft-sided. It definitely feels like there is decent padding for the most part. It's not as form structured with all the kind of framing that the Nomatic had, but you can see this is a pretty large bag. So, again, I like the fact that it'll be somewhat packable, right? If I didn't have lenses in there, again, if I wanted to bring like a normal camera backpack, if I had more room or more stuff to carry, and I had a regular backpack, I could easily pack this. But again, this one's going to be going kind of as both the cube inside my carry-on, and then going to be also kind of my day pack. So yeah, again, initial thoughts is a little less form structure, a little bit more soft-sided. Not to say that's a bad thing. There's definitely a lot of padding on the inside. There are definitely different dividers and everything else. I wish, based on just the feel of this, the back has some good padding, the front has some good padding, the sides and the bottom are a little bit not as padded as I want. I think this pad here will go on the bottom anyway, to give it a little bit more structure and to add to the padding, so that's a good thing. A big main compartment, and I'll put the dividers in and everything else. One zip pocket that you can put accessories in. Another front zip pocket. This one's got some mesh and other things for, again, batteries and whatever accessories you have. And then this is kind of like a felt-lined pocket. You could put wallet or cell phone or both kind of in there. We'll see, but I will get this one set up. Oh, sorry. And then they have kind of another carry strap here, and it looks like it has, this is the rain cover, so the rain cover is included, kind of hidden back in here. You could almost use that as kind of a hidden pocket to put things in, maybe a passport or whatever. But we'll see. And then again, this one, the nice thing is the shoulder pad padding itself is kind of movable and adjustable, so that can kind of move with you where the Nomatic was not. So and again, it's feels very cushiony, so it looks like if you had to wear it for a little while, that it wouldn't be too hard on you. Oh, and it looks like there is definitely one more hidden pocket back here that's also felt lined, that you could, when it's up against your body, use it as a more of a secure pocket or whatever it is. So overall, nice looking bag. Again, I will get all the dividers and everything else in there and get it packed up, and we'll see how this one does from being able to hold everything. I mean, this definitely looks wider, again, being that it's a little bit softer. I feel like it's going to have a little bit more room than the other 8-liter, which, and again, based on the design and the style of this, it feels a little bit longer versus the Nomatic kind of curving in and around. A little bit more sleeker looking, but let's get it packed up and see how everything goes. Got that long pad put onto the bottom. That definitely does help with adding the padding that I felt like was going to be missing to help just protect the camera. I mean, hopefully you don't drop it, but the putting that padding on the bottom definitely gives it a little bit more safety and makes it feel a little bit better. I kind of already put the dividers in to be able to divide out the main pocket. Again, the 18 to 105 Sony f4 goes in one side, the Tamron 11 to 20 millimeter in the other side, and then this is an A6600 with the 18 to 50 Sigma lens on it. This one's also a 2.8. Goes right in the middle, and you can see in there, I mean, it took no effort. There's plenty of room. I could probably fit a few more small accessories, in next to the lenses. Have the big front pocket, have the pocket on top, have the kind of front pocket for a cell phone wallet, or have the back pocket here for, again, cell phone wallet. I mean, honestly, guys, for 8 liters, just because this is a little bit longer design than the Nomatic, which kind of, again, tapered up. I like the fact that this has compression straps, so you can kind of cinch the whole bag down, make it look and feel a little bit smaller. Honestly, right now, I think this is going to be the bag that I take with me to Europe. So I will see what other accessories I'm going to put in here, but stay tuned for a longer term review and some video and other things from the trip. But this looks like it's going to be it for me. Again, I just feel it's a little bit more roomier, a little bit more compact, that if I have to stick it into another bag, that I can just stick it in there with a few other things, that it'll still be protected, but it again, while it's longer, I just feel like it'll be take up less space overall. So this is the one we're going to go with, guys. Stay tuned again, and I will let you know.
So I had this bag pretty much loaded down with what I'm going to take out of here on a regular basis, particularly if I was going places where I wasn't walking too much, and sometimes when I was walking too much. I'll say the one thing about this bag is that you can put a lot of stuff in here, and depending on how long you are carrying it for, which at some days I was carrying it for 8 or 10 hours a day, for day after day, for about 2 weeks on the trip that we were in Europe for, and near the end it did start to feel a little heavy. But let me just show you what I have in here, because this thing does hold a lot, which is really great about it. So in the main compartment, I had a DJI OM5 for my camera, or for my cell phone. I had the same lenses as before, the Tamron 11 to 20, the Sony 18 to 105, and then I had the Sigma 18 to 50 on an A6600. I had an extra battery. I carried my Insta360 with me for when I needed it. In the front here, I have this selfie stick tripod. This thing was a lifesaver. My wife and I used this a ton of times to be able to take pictures of ourselves together, because it's always easier sometimes to do it this way than it is to ask somebody else to take a picture. So this thing was great. I will talk about this later. Extra memory cards, Ulanzi wireless mic set, and then in the back here, what I would carry a lot of times, again being in Europe, they said there was a lot of pickpocketers in France and everything else. So it was good to be able to put everything else that I needed. My cell phone went in the back here. My sunglasses went in the back here. And then if I was carrying any, I'd carry at least one credit card, one ID. And then, again, we were riding the tube a lot in London. We were riding the metro a lot in Paris. So then just the metro cards or whatever else would all go in this back pocket. I didn't really use this front pocket for too much,
Sometimes I would put my sunglasses in here depending on how stuffed the bag was. But yeah, it was great. This bag held a lot. Like I said, the only problems that I ran into at times was the fact that it would feel a little heavy, but otherwise, you know, the thing that I liked about this is I was using this as both a camera cube, because I would put this into another bag so that I could put it into a carry-on. All of our luggage was carry-on because of all the issues that were going on in London and coming out of France. We didn't want to check any bags. So this went into another carry-on bag, and then we had a roller carry-on bag. So it was great that I could put this into another bag to act as a camera cube to protect the gear while I was moving around. And then when I got locally, it was spectacular to be able to just pull this out and then have this as my day bag carrying around. So I will say that every bag has a purpose. And for me, this was a great bag to use while traveling. We had no issues. You know, I had no issues putting it into the bag, you know, the carry-on bag. I will show you what that looks like, and then putting other stuff in that bag. So again, I will load this back up, and then I will show you the other bag that this went into and kind of how I carried it. So this was the duffel bag that I used as one of my carry-ons. And like I said, the great thing about the Hex Ranger was, you know, even as packed as it was, it could easily stuff into this bag, all right? And you can see here that there's still plenty of room on top, to the side. You know, I have other things in here that I could put, like my wireless over-the-ear headset. You know, we put all of our toiletries and our 1-gallon bags in here. I just had spare battery packs. I mean, everything in here, and was able to just cinch all this up and use this as a second carry-on. You know, again, protecting all the camera gear inside here, and then, you know, not having to dedicate a bag or a full bag to just camera equipment. So like I said, for me, this was a great travel bag to use both as a cube and to have as an everyday bag when you get to your location to carry what you need around, right? I mean, obviously I had a bunch of lenses in there. Some days I went light, some days I went heavy, but this bag, again, did everything I needed it to do. It was the perfect bag for this travel trip. And, you know, if it was up to me, I would highly, highly, highly recommend this. You know, again, is it better than the Peak design? For the purpose of traveling, using it in the exact manner that I did, I don't think I would have had as much room if I put the 6-liter Peak design bag in here as I did with this 8-liter you know, Hex Ranger. Like I said, I think this one holds a lot more. If you go back and look at my video, which I'll link, this one I was able to put a lot more, you know, lenses and other accessories to be able to carry around. So to me, for travel, you know, great bag. So just to give you a good idea of what the bag looks like, again, I'm about 5'9", 5'10", right now, about 185 pounds, and this is how the bag hangs, you know, in its configuration, kind of the side view, and then the view from the back. Right, so you get a good impression. Like I said, this bag is great for just slinging around, opening up. Right, with the DJI, I was a little bit more careful because, you know, I didn't want it to always fall out, but you could easily just hold it off the side, pull your camera out, put that back down, take your lens cap off, take your picture, all right? You could throw your lens cap in, all right? You know, the zippers worked pretty well. You could just zip it closed, whatever you need to do. Zip it back open. Put your camera back. And you're good to go, right? Easy to zip all back up. Everything's nice and closed. And like I said, this zipper pocket in the back, you know, that's back here was great because, you know, again, being in Europe, they were always saying beware pickpocketers. This thing was able to hang close to the body. I was able to kind of just rest my arm on it, you know, when I was in more crowded situations to keep it in front of my body. And again,
perfect bag for what I needed for traveling, for carrying multiple lenses, my camera, accessories. You can't go wrong. So again, go out and get yourself one.